This is my 06 Lancer Evo 9 MR, and to be completely transparent, I'm not 100% stoked to take it to meets. And before you jump ahead of me, let's get one thing straight. I love my Evo, but there's just a short list of things that I'd like to fix before I take it to its next car show. Now, this list started building as soon as I bought the car, basically even before I gave the money over, because I could see the glaring pieces that I needed to change as soon as possible. But really pushed me over the edge is finally taking it to my first car show. I understand. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's like, dude, chill, you have an Evo. I just want to be that much more stoked to take it to the next car meet. I gave it a good wash. It still has its detail on it, so it was pretty easy to just rinse it off and get it ready. But there's those things that I would have loved to be able to do that I just mentally could not. So what's up, crew? Welcome to another video. My name is John Connie, aka Big Man Syndrome. And let's talk about the list of blessed problems we have with the Evo. This was definitely a high mileage Evo that sat in the sun for way too long, and it showed a lot in its trim. As you can see by the window trim, the mirrors, the vent for the hood, and the cowl just under the wipers, as well as the wipers, everything's just a bit sun faded. And the worst part was this trim right here, which obviously you can see is now refreshed, and it looks so good. It made the biggest difference. If you want to see that content, it's on TikTok as a little bit of a series. That's a separate video on its own, and I really should sit down and talk about this story. There's actually a little dimple right here. I don't know if you could see it. It was the only bummer. Anyways, I got this done, which was a huge game changer. I got it done before the event, and I had meant to do the window trim too, but I ran out of time. But that's the next stage for fixing the Evo so that it's show ready for the next one. But as you can see, this is done, and it was a massive difference. And for the rest of the trim on this car, I'm gonna take a page out of Chris' video he did a while back when he restored his Evo trim. I already got the window trim. It's in a box. It's been in a box for way too many months. I'm gonna spray the side mirror piece that mounts up to the car. Not exactly sure what I'm gonna do about the mirrors, because as you've probably seen, those have bad clear coat, so if I'm gonna refresh those, I might have to just completely sand them and then get them painted, paint matched, which the roof needs that anyway, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then same thing for the hood vent, do a quick spray. Same thing for the cowl, quick spray. There's a recommended spray paint that he has on the channel that I'm just gonna go and see if I can find and use it. And then this car will look pretty premium from a distance. Which brings me to my next issue. The engine bay. Right now, the cleanest thing in here is the engine intake piping, or intercooler piping. And even that's got a little bit of a layer of dust on it. But the rest of it is really just, it's ugly. It's old. It's almost 100,000 miles in here, and I'm not sure if it's ever been really truly cleaned. This is like, it's an iconic engine. This is a 4G63T. And I mean, the stock headers look like ass no matter what. They always look like a rusty old cast iron pan that you forgot to clean correctly. That's a future update, obviously, to really truly bring this engine bay up another level. Number one thing that I can easily do, which I've seen done plenty of times, so I'm gonna do my research, spray the inside of this thing with some foam, give it a good pressure spray, scrub it with a couple little brushes, and then I can feel really, really good about popping the hood of this car at a meet and showing off the wonderful Godzilla that exists underneath here. Or is that the skyline? Godzilla? What is this, King Kong? I don't even know. I need to get a pad for my knee. Damn, that hurts. It looks like 100,000 miles in there. It's only 98,000, but it's close enough. It just looks like no one's ever given it a good wash. And to me, one of the coolest things at car meets is when you've got an extremely clean engine bay. And when we went to the big time movie event, there were so many iconic engines. This is an iconic engine as well, but ain't no way I'm opening up the hood to show off my dingy 4G63. So number two on this list is going to be doing a deep clean on the engine bay. And I've watched a few videos already. I'm gonna watch some more to really see best practices, and then also look for the things that I need to grab to do this right. Cause like this, that needs to be shiny red. This faded, it's bad. Because I do want to do some juicy headers as well, because once this is clean, the next step is to get rid of the stock rusted over headers and get some nice and beautiful turbo headers. But yeah, that's number two. Moving on to the more important eyesore that is on this car, the biggest mistake of a previous owner, and that's the rear fenders. After putting the TEs on, this became an even bigger priority, like way up on the list. The problem is the fenders are cut under here. This is drilled in. These are wide wheels, so it needs to be wide body. It doesn't have to be super wide unless I want to go for some spacers. So there's a couple of other hurdles that I have to address before I rip these off, and then how I'm gonna replace them, which personally, I'm pretty cool with this style, the Voltex kit. Like, it looks pretty good on other channels. Like Prjct.Garage has an Evo 9 with this style on it. I'm not sure if it's the same kit. I don't even know if this is a reputable kit. It kind of looks like a crap kit because it has a really big gap here. Could just be the install. And then obviously you can see shiny black, matte-ish black. So they either rattle canned it or did a really cheap paint job, and it's already starting to see some bad fading, and like I might even be eating into the layer of paint and getting to the fiberglass here. So there's a lot wrong with this other than it not being my style. Like I said, I'm not against it. I don't love it. And I want to be able to pull up to an event and be like, this is the car that I love, and this is the style that I've gone with for this car. So the next steps for this one is gonna be a lot more custom. I'm gonna switch up positions. Yeah, see, they even just sprayed it with it on. So there's overspray in the grill. Ugh. I bought someone else's bad decisions and I'm making my own bad decisions with it. The next steps for this is gonna be pretty exciting if we can make it happen. We're planning to talk to a friend who has 3D scanning and 3D printing available. And I'm thinking about trying to scan an Evo 9 body. It might even just be this one because the fenders they're cut, but we can always fix where that round ends. And then I wanna just pull out the natural shape of the Evo body. So like this line right here, I wanna probably just end up starting there and then coming out a little tiny bit, just enough so that it meets the wheel where it is, unless I wanna go a little bit wider, which then I'll just throw 5-10 millimeter spacer on here. The other piece of personalization I wanna do is I love the look of a half fender, I think. There's a line here for the bumper. I wanna stop there with this wide body, and I want to have it open so that the meat of the wheel shows from the back, because I've always loved the look of that. We were at the big time event, we were looking at the Unicorn, and both front and back fenders are just like that. I'm sure it has something to do with heat dispellation. I don't know what the word is there. And lastly, obviously, visually, you can see a lot more of the tire, which is super fun. Along with this project is fixing the fact that as a big person and with too much weight in the car, the current setup absolutely rubs too much, even with cut fenders. And that's because I got wide tires, and I believe the coilovers are pretty crappy. So coilovers in the future? Probably talk too much there. I'd love some feedback down in the comments if you wouldn't mind. Was that too much? Did I edit it well? If you liked it, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the like button. So that's part one. Well, part one of the list at least, because I didn't mention the fading Brembos that I need to get fixed. And then there's the fading tint all around. And I actually haven't finished the wiring on the interior. And then the trunk is literally a shit show. And I really badly want it to be very Too Fast, Too Furious, where I can open up the trunk. I don't need any moving parts. That's me. Sound systems, visually that needs to represent who I am in the car world. God, there is a lot to do. So if you haven't already, join the crew. By becoming a subscriber, you enter our first raffle. I guess I can't really call it a giveaway, but it's really a raffle. By being a subscriber, you enter to win a set of Icon wrenches from Harbor Freight, as well as a Daytona jack and jack stands. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll pick a winner and we'll move on to the next one. And if you're not new, you know what to do. Hit the like button, leave a comment, share this video. That is the way we grow the crew. And until the next one, I'll see you later, crew. I think I got a vendetta. Go spend some money on that money pit. Mailman just dropped off packages, I'm assuming, at the front door, and he had the most Fast and Furious song, at least in the early 2000s Fast and Furious song ever. I'll look back now, woo woo. I'm not sure if it picked up on there. That was pretty funny. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I get let up. Look.